Hello everybody, this is Sherry at djsundry.blogspot.com, and today I have a quick project to show you. I'm actually not doing a tutorial, I'm just going to show you what I did and how I did it rather than do a tutorial. This is something that I'm doing for a swap over at crafthappens.net, and so I just wanted to show you. And the theme for this particular swap is a trim swap. So what we were supposed to do is we were supposed to take the larger tongue depressor type popsicle sticks, the larger size, unlicked of course, and we were supposed to finish, and I think the rules just said to finish one side, I can't remember, but I went ahead and finished both. And so I'm going to tell you how I did that. And then we were supposed to get a yard of trim, not ribbon, and put it on it and then package it up nicely and send it. They suggested that you have the ribbon attached with a some kind of a pin or something to keep the ribbon in place. So I'm going to show you what I did. So I started with these little wooden sticks that I picked up at my local Joann's, and these again are the larger size. And I have to tell you, I love this idea so much that as I have time, I may use this for some of my smaller pieces of ribbon, things that you know, you couldn't do like a whole roll of ribbon, but if you just have little snippets, it's, I think, a great way to store ribbon. So this was a really good idea. So we started with these. Now I chose these little Woodsies clothespins, which I actually had purchased a few months ago for another project that I still haven't done. But I thought, this is what I'm going to use. So these are just these really small wooden clothespins. Again, I got those at Joann's, but it was several months ago, but they're still available. And they actually come in various sizes, but this is the size that I chose. Now, in the past, to store my ribbon, I have stored it by just wrapping it around a clothespin. But I really like the way this turned out better. So I also then used, I chose two different colors of paint from the Americana line. I chose black plum and avocado, and then I used the crackle medium. And so let me show you how I did that, and or show you the final project. Now the first thing I did is I painted the back side of my popsicle stick and around the edges, so the edges would be finished with the black plum. And then I applied the crackle medium, and then I applied the avocado. Now I have to tell you, this is the first time I've ever crackled anything, I think. I may have done it clear back in high school, but other than that, I think this is the first time I've ever crackled them. And most of them did not turn out exactly how I thought it would. So this is definitely something I'm going to have to practice a little bit more. I think that probably what happened is I probably didn't get enough of the crackle medium, so I'll play with it a little bit more. But you can still, because I only put one coat of the avocado across, you can still see just a little bit of that plum coming across. Then I also took the pins and I painted, or the clothespins, and I painted them using the black plum. And what I did is I just painted the outsides, and I was pretty rough with it. I just painted it real quick and painted in here so that there wouldn't be wood showing. I did not paint the bottom. It had some streak marks from overhang, but I didn't paint the bottom because I knew that would be attached to my stick. I did, however, open it up and kind of paint inside here and let that dry. And then when it was all done, I just took a baby wipe that I used to clean my stamps and cleaned off the outer edge of the metal, so that it would still be the metal color, and that made it look like this. So here we have our clothespin all painted. It's not perfect, and of course inside, if you looked closely, you're still going to see some rough wood, but I tried to finish it just quickly. And then what I did is I went to my scrap bin and I found scraps of paper. Now I chose my favorite stack from the K & Company, and I honestly can't remember what it's called. It's a stack that I bought two of. I've done journals with it. My journal's done with this paper. It's got a lot of butterflies and purples and greens, and I took some scraps and I cut out a piece the size of the front of the popsicle stick, and that's going to be the front. And I applied that using just some I believe it's from Ranger, just a medium, some type of a glue, and you can actually put that over the top too, but I didn't. I just applied that one piece. Rather, I thought, you know, I thought about doing strips or whatever, but I decided not to. And then I went through my stash and I found these Satin Pearls by Prima, and that's where I found this little bling that was just the right width to fit on the bottom of the popsicle stick. So, and it's sticky back, so I just stuck that on, and then I used glossy accents to adhere the clip to the top. And then when I was all finished, I put a layer of glossy accents over the top, so it's really smooth and gives it that finished sparkly edge. So I applied that just over the top. I didn't do it on the back, I just did it on the top. So there was my finished stick, and it, you know, it took quite a few coats, especially the purple. It took several coats of the purple to cover the stick, because these popsicle sticks just soak up the paint. So that's how I did my stick. Now this is the trim that I found. The rest of the swap was you were supposed to put a yard of trim, and I found this gorgeous trim. Now this trim is a bit of elastic. I think the idea for it is to use for headbands, but it was so pretty, and it was purple, and you all know how much I love purple, and so I decided to get it. Now here's a word of warning, and then I'm sure it was completely accidental, but I think that when the clerk was measuring the trim, I think she probably stretched it a little bit unknowingly, because when I got it home, I had purchased 6 yards, but when I laid it down and measured it, my 6th piece only ended up being a foot long instead of a yard long. So I think that she just accidentally kind of stretched it a little bit when she was measuring it, because all of my pieces are the exact same size of 1 yard. So watch, if you're buying anything with any kind of give, just make sure that they're not stretching it at all. So let me show you how I applied that to the stick. So I just started at the bottom, and yes, it's going to cover up that little bling a little bit, but that's okay. And actually you could start, probably it would even be better to start in the middle, and you just twist it on. Now the one thing you want to remember, especially in something like this, because it does have that little bit of elasticity, you want to be really gentle about putting it on, because you don't want to stretch it around the stick. You just want to gently put it around the stick, because you don't want it stretching. And then what I did to hold it on is I just clipped it under the clip. And now I have one, I made an extra one to kind of play with, and I was going to do something to the stick, and I pulled out my paint pen, and I don't like the way that turned out, so I just decided just to leave the stick. I thought about putting another black pearl or something, but I thought with use it's going to eventually come off, and so I just decided to just leave it just like this. Now to package these, what I did is I pulled these 4x6 bags that I've had in my stash that I picked up from Gifts International, probably even maybe a year ago. And I am just putting my little stick inside, maybe if I can open it, just like that. And then I have a few ATC cards, and I don't have enough for this swap, so I'm going to have to make another one before I do. But I have these ATC cards that I'm just slipping in with my contact information. And then I have this willow, old willow ribbon, also from Crafts International, and I just pull it together, and just gonna tie it in a nice little bow. And so when I'm all done, this is how it looks to go for the swap. So thanks for watching. A fun tip, and I think as I have time, I think I'm going to make a bunch more of these to store, like I said, my little bits of ribbon. You know, that little bit of ribbon where you have a foot of ribbon and you don't want to deal with it. That way it'll keep it nice and neat. I don't know, it'll take some time, but that's just a thought. But here's just a fun, neat way to store ribbon and trim, and it's a cute way to send off as a gift if you just have a little bit of trim you want to send to someone. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.